All right, I welcome you to Vanguard's Food and Agro-Business Roundtable discussion. And of course, we have a lineup of experts who is going to be, they're going to be talking basically about how to move the food and agro business forward. And of course, we're lacking food around this time because of the floodings that have happened, across states here in Nigeria. And some of the lineups of speakers today, we have Benga Adifaya, editor-in-chief, Vanguard Media. We also have Dr. Adams Olu Adibayo, chairman NASMI Lagos. We have ST Kuti George, MD Goshen Exquisite Marble, immediate past chairman National Association of Small Scale Industrialists. And we're also going to have a presentation done by Mr. Leko Barinde, coordinator, National Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, NASMI Youth Group. Also speaking on the role of financial institution in funding of agro-allied sector in Nigeria, we have the NDCU of Fidelity Bank, Mrs. NECA, and she's going to be speaking on how the financial institution can actually fund the agro-allied sector. Also, youth and challenges of funding agro-food enterprises. We have Dr. Salam Olariwaju, coordinator, Young Farmers Association of Nigeria, White Farm. Of course, there are going to be sessions where people can ask questions and also get answers from these experts. We promise this to be a very interesting one. Just sit tight.
right now we're starting, we're still expecting some keynote speakers, but the most important person is already here, which is the chairman of this event, who is already seated, and the editor-in-chief of Vanguard. They are both seated here. So we're going to start with the opening prayer. And before we do that, I'm going to be calling all our guests to the high table in the name of, well, I'll start with, the chairman is already seated, so I'm going to start with first of all, I'm going to introduce the chief editor, Mr. Benga Fine. And our chairman of this occasion is Dr. Adam Zulu Adebayo. Then I'll be inviting to the high table MD Goshen Exquisite Marble, Mr. S.T. Kuti George. After which I'll be inviting Mr. Lekon Paride. Is the National Association, is the coordinator of the National Association of Small and Medium Enterprises Youth Group. And then I'll be inviting also the bank, the MD/CEO of Fidelity Bank, in the name of Mrs. NECA. I didn't mess up the name. She's not here yet. Also we'll be inviting Dr. Salam Olariwaju, coordinator of the Youth Farmers Association of Nigeria. He's not here yet. I think we're expecting the MD of Fidelity Bank, so that is, we're going to have to start without her as soon as she joins us. We have also representing the Development Bank of Nigeria's chair, MD, Mrs. Teresa Lawal. We also have from the Bank of Industry, one of our keynote speakers, Mr. Uche Nwachukwu. Join us. Please, if you want to pay, that's okay. Yes. You write it. Oh yeah, I want to what do you want me to do now? I think pronounce the name for you. This is where we can move forward, and we're going to have the national anthem. and an opening prayer.
You can call anybody. So, national. Everybody can sing national anthem now.
I think we should
Yes.
all, in reverence to the country, stand up for the national anthem.
Head of Lagos Operation, Bank of Industry.
So, let's go.
Yes.
We're still going to stand up for the prayer. I know a lot of us want to say, so I don't know. So I'm going to have to. I don't think that we should jettison the prayer. Some people would not like that. So I'm going to call on anybody. We have who can just say a short prayer to anybody.
So let's start with thank you all for bringing us to the beginning of today. We commit the day into your hands, and we ask that you give us a fruitful deliberation today. And we ask that at the end of the day, that you give us nothing but, thanksgiving for all that you've done for us, and you take us all back safely.
Thank you. We're going to start now with the address from the chief editor's welcoming address from Mr. Vanguard Adefai, editor-in-chief of Vanguard News.
Thank you very much. The chairman, National Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, NASME, Lagos, and also chairman of this event, Professor Adams Oluwadebayo. I hope I got it right. The keynote speaker, MD CEO of the Bank of Industry, Mr. Odukayode Peter. Represented there, Mr. Auchi Owachuku, Head of Operation, Head of Lagos Operation. Our guest speaker and Managing Director, Fidelity Bank PLC, Mrs. NECA Onyali Ipe. Our other eminent speakers, Mr. Kuti George, MD CEO, Goshen Exclusive Marble, and the Middle Past Chairman, National Association of Small-Scale Industrialists, Mr. Lekon Obarinde, Coordinator of NASME Youth Group, Dr. Salam Olanrewaju, Coordinator, Young Farmers Association of Nigeria, YIFAN, MD CEO, Development Bank of Nigeria, Tony Okanachi, represented here by Teresa Lawal, our friends and participants, both on-site and online, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning all. On behalf of the management and editors of Vanguard newspaper, I welcome you to Vanguard Agro and Food Business Roundtable. The Vanguard Food and Agri-Business Roundtable is one of the economic sector thought leadership series promoted by the Vanguard newspapers to stimulate knowledge and examine opportunities for stakeholders in selected sectors considered key to the nation's economic development. This year alone, we have executed 3 of such brainstorming sessions, with the flagship event being the annual economic discourse, which was done earlier in the year. The last for the year is taking place towards the end of this month, is the Vanguard FinTech, Cyber Security and Fraud Summit. At Vanguard newspapers, we run on multiple platforms to sustain our contributions to the development of our country and share prosperity across every strata through knowledge and information distribution to everyone in our space. We also support this through all of you present here, and many more not at this meeting today, but we believe you equally have much to contribute towards the building of this nation to the stature we all desire. At Vanguard newspapers, we believe in the energy, the passion, and skills of our citizens in creating and driving a thriving private sector. We also stimulate discussions and multi-party engagements to set agenda for public policies. It is in this connection that we created the Vanguard Food and Agro-Business Roundtable to articulate, aggregate, and disseminate stakeholders' position on this sector of the economy considered very critical to Nigeria's development. We all know the role of food security in the overall security and stability of any society. We are here today to push the agenda for sustainable agriculture and food industry in Nigeria. We are picking a segment of the issues involved in this sector, the issue of funding, believing that entrepreneurship without finance is near futile. We have brought together the people from both the agro-food industry and finance to give a guide on the right way to go. We have thrown open the discussion around incentives for development of Nigeria agro-allied businesses, access to funds and the intervention programs, as well as other support in the agri and food sector, to examine the private sector experiences with a view to counting gains, if any, and then appraise the challenges. We hope that with the important stakeholders we have here today, we will be able to arrive at a good agenda for the government, especially as we look forward to a new regime after the elections in a few months' time. On this note, may I welcome you all to this 2022 edition of the Vanguard Food and Agri-Business Roundtable. Thank you very much, and good morning.
Thank you, the Editor-in-Chief. I will equally be having 2 caps as the MC and the Chairman of the occasion. Thank you. Looking at the program, we find out that immediately after the welcome address by the Editor-in-Chief, what next is the Chairman opening address, and there's going to be some little amendments on the remaining one we shall equally be notifying you at the appropriate time. So without wasting your time, let's go to the business for today. Once again, good morning everybody. Seeing people around, it's a good thing for us to understand that our coming here is for a purpose. We all know that we can talk and talk and talk, but if we don't have a critical head of where we are going or direction,
might be a very, very difficult thing. We'll be doing it and doing it, but we have to do it in another way around so that we can get it right. And at the same time, everybody will know that this is exactly what we have gotten from this gathering today. Once again, my name is Adams Olu Adebayo. The Olu is Olubenga. Accidentally, is the same. We share the same name with the editor-in-chief, which is Mr. Benga. And as you have said it, Mr. Adebayo has considered this to be one of the best time for us to come together. And on this note, I need to thank you, Mr. Adebayo, for giving the opportunity, because creating a platform like this is an opportunity of bringing together the erudite scholars and people that are in the financial industry to see what we are doing. And for being part of the micro and small businesses in Nigeria, then we understand. You mentioned that entrepreneur without fund is like we are just looking at what we are doing. But I will tell you, entrepreneur without fund is an entertainment. You are only making people to laugh because you can just tell them, I have this, I have that. What are you going to gain out of it? And that is exactly what we need to look into. It might look funny, but it's not funny. But we find out that even with the fund that we were talking about, if care is not taken, you will see the fund and it will fly away. And people still saying that what is happening in Nigeria was small business is not having it right. We are not having it right not because we don't want to have it right, because the environment has really put us in a serious tight corner. And that is exactly what I want each and everyone to know and understand. In every poor nation we have rich people. And in every rich nation we have poor people. And that is why we need to get it right and to see which direction we are going. My welcome address is going to be a short presentation. Incentive for development of Nigerian agro-business. I want to salute the courage and the enthusiasm of the entire management of Vanguard Media Limited for thinking beyond the box, bringing together some of the evidence scholars and relevant critical stakeholders in the micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria, and particularly in Lagos State, the center of excellence where business activities have been held. There is no better time than this season when the economic contraction is fully manifested through the combination of economic recession and depression, occurring at almost within the shortest period, that is, a significant decline in the economic activities spread across the economy, lasting more than a few months, normally visible in real GDP, real income, employment status, industrial production, and a wholesale retail sales. The continuation of such precarious experience is known as economic depression, which is commonly referred to as a more severe and tougher version of a recession, with an unpredictable and skyrocketing multiplying effect. In less than 1 week, the policy formulator, that is the government of the day, has approved new incentives for investors in the agricultural sector to improve high-level private sector participation in the nation's food production and processing industry. Among the incentives include a tax and duty-free holiday for a period of 5 years for agricultural production and processing in Nigeria, tax-free agricultural loans with a moratorium period of over 18 months and a repayment period of not more than 7 years, and zero tariff rates on the importation of agrochemical. What are the way forward? As a way forward, Nigeria needs to invest in agriculture. We all know that the sector has been abandoned for years because of the crude oil discovery in the early 60s and because of lack of sound and good management of the leaders that have not really got it right. The experts on food security collectively agree that a nation that cannot feed itself is not practically a free nation. That is what we are experiencing. And now when you have a situation like that, you just have to look inward. When this administration came in 2015, one of the promises is to diversify Nigerian oil-dominated economy by investing heavily in agriculture and encouraging farming. The government aimed at food self-sufficiency and increased foreign exchange earning. the President launched the Agricultural Promotion Policy (APP), which expired in December 2020. We are in 2022, we still understand and we know where we are. The incoming government in 2023 should focus on security of life and property and concentrate on food production by revamping the economy through a public-private partnership. Cannot be done by government alone. Without you, no matter how good is the government, we are going nowhere. It is your activities that determine how the economy is going to be directed. It is your result. Is it your own way of doing it that will result to what we can see? If you are engaging in production and you cannot see the production, then definitely the opposite of that is consumption. Whether you produce or you don't produce, people must consume. So that is the activity that is needed. And that is where we still find ourselves where we are, and we need to sit down and look at it holistically. At today's meeting, what are the way out? Let me tell you, well, by accident or by whichever form, I'm also a politician. But notwithstanding, I will tell you that when we get to a certain level, we lose the control. And at that point, we have many people who are feeding us with different, and that's why you say, look at this everyday scholar, look at these people. I thought they are upstairs, they are okay. It is not the fault of those people, let me tell you. If you have more than what you can shoot, you will misbehave. And that is the problem. What you people are going to say today are part of what the politicians read, and they take it as a policy and they formulate it. There are so many things that we need to understand. The enabling environment is there, the insecurity is there, but we need to understand there is no antidote to food. I've seen a lot of software. There is none that will say, if you have this software, you will not be hungry again. I'm still looking for that, and we are still researching on that too. As long as people must eat before they do any other thing, then food is important. That means every one of you are important. And that critical decision that you are taking is going to affect everybody. Somebody was asking me this morning that I thought you are a rice producer. I say, yes, I am. How much is your bag of rice now? I say, well, to be moderate, you can get a Nigerian rice for 38,000. I say, blood of Zechariah. I say, what can we do to that? No. This is very obvious. It's only that people are just trying not to see what you are looking at. As of today, before you know, every day the thing is going up. The multiplying effect of it. And that is why I said, as long as there is demand for that, then the price will shoot up. Everyone that knows how much you have lost in Nasarawa because of the rice that the flood that is taken over, definitely the prices of this will still go up. Then there must be a way out. And part of the way out is what we are going to discuss today. We are all aware that most of the military physical policies were somersaulted within a twinkle of an eye, which made a nonsense of one time the strongest currency in Africa becoming a weak and unstable among the world currency. If most of our various policies become stabilized, agriculture will continue to be an established driver of Nigerian GDP growth. The agricultural growth in Nigeria has steadily increased from 3.48% in 2015 to 6.48% as 2020. Everyone involved should ask on the imperatives of improving the country's agricultural produce and turning agriculture itself into a big blessing, a big business. We should all eat what we grow, and farmers should encourage to grow all what we eat. Thanks, and God bless you all. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live all the entrepreneurs in the house. Thank you. On this note, as mentioned earlier, I've told you there's going to be a little bit. We are going to have the moderating the program. Now, I have to call on Mr. Uche, representing the Bank of Industry MD, for his presentation. Before we thank you and welcome, Mr. Uche. Thank you.
the chairman of the occasion and also chairman of NASMI Lagos, Dr. Adams Olu Adebayo, editor-in-chief for Vanguard Media, Mr. Wenga Adefaye, managing director of Goshen, Mr. Kuti George, coordinator SMIDAN, Mr. Lekon Obarinde, representative of managing director of DBN, Ms. Teresa Lawal, Dr. Salam Olarewaju, Youth Farmers Association of Nigeria. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to speak at this Vanguard Agro-Business Roundtable with the theme, Funding Agriculture and Food Sector, the role of Bank of Industry. I'm also particularly humbled to highlight how our development activities are stimulating sustainable growth and development in Nigeria. The theme of the session, Incentives for Development of Nigeria's Agro-Allied Business, is quite apt, given that Nigeria's population growth rate has been higher than our economic growth for several years now. Over the last 5 years, Nigeria's population has been growing at an average of 2.5% per annum. However, our GDP growth rate over the same period has been less than 2%. As a result, the need to produce sufficient food to feed the populace is critical and urgent. The challenge is also posed by the COVID-19 pandemic further exacerbated food insecurity in the agricultural sector. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, food insecurity in 2019 affected nearly 690 million people globally, and by the end of 2020, an additional 100 million people were projected to become food insecure. Agriculture is central to the economic strategy of the federal government and has been identified as one of the sectors for national growth and economic diversification based on the National Development Plan 2021 to 2025. Over the years, activities in the agri sector have gained traction with massive support from the federal government in collaboration with the private sector. Furthermore, the adoption of agricultural innovations and technologies has resulted in increased crop production, ranking Nigeria 7th in the 2019 World Bank's evaluation of countries' performance in agri and farming across Africa. As we all know, Nigeria is endowed with abundant agricultural resources, an ideal agricultural climate. Agriculture contributes about 23% of our GDP and employs a large number of the population. Arable land accounts for approximately 90% of the 91 million hectares of land in the country. However, less than 42% of this is currently under cultivation. The land under cultivation is also owned by majorly smallholder farmers with rudimentary tools and techniques for production. With a growing population and increasing urbanization, it has become critical that we harness these potentials for economic productivity and food security in Nigeria. Despite opportunities that exist, a number of challenges still persist. High cost of inputs, this includes land fertilizer, high yield seedlings, low mechanization processes, cheaper imported foods and raw materials, increased rural-urban migration, poor infrastructure, insecurity, and flooding, amongst others. These hinder the performance of the agri sector in Nigeria, exacerbating the rising food insecurity that has affected the country in recent times. According to the World Bank, demand for the food will increase by 70% by 2050. There's estimated at least $80 billion in annual investments to meet this demand. In Nigeria, almost 60% of our harvest is lost due to poor harvest storage, poor handling, and low processing. Most of these food processing enterprises rely on simple, low cost and traditional food processing techniques which yield low industrial output. Despite this importance, food processing subsector has not achieved rapid growth and development. This is due to adoption of inefficient and inappropriate technologies. Increased investment across the agricultural value chain will reduce the cost of manufactured goods. ease pressure on Nigeria's foreign reserves, create jobs, and reposition the economy for growth and development. While various forms of financing exist today for the agricultural food sector, innovative products and processes are needed to support the smallholder farmers that lack adequate access to finance. Reasons for this include a predominance of low levels of mechanization, lack of bankable business plan, absence of organized financial records, and poor business and technical managerial skills, amongst others. To address this challenge, it is important that all stakeholders collaborate towards reducing the financial burden of enterprises across the agribusiness value chain. This can be done by creating an enabling environment for the development of infrastructure, tax incentives, and introducing financial literacy to the public. In addition, there is a need for increased collaboration within the private sector to develop innovative solutions for their funding challenges. The development of networks and mentoring support for knowledge sharing for entrepreneurs and financiers of the agri value chain will also improve better process efficiency and quality of products. There is also a need for continuous patronage of local foods and raw material to support the sustainability of the industry and reduce importation. For the Bank of Industry, our foray into supporting the agri sector was driven by our mandate to transform the industrial sector in Nigeria. Consequently, the bank provides both financial and business advisory support to enterprises that are engaged in agribusiness activities. We have since been able to commit over 125 billion to enterprises. This success is due to a number of reasons, including the provision of innovative financing mechanisms such as single-digit interest rates, reasonable moratorium periods, and long-tenured loans. Between 2015 and 2022, the bank has also provided financing of over 309 billion to enterprises in the food and agro-processing subsectors. BOI also managed the 10 billion Rice Intervention Fund under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. The sum of 3.2 billion was disbursed to 4 companies for the production of high-quality, parboiled, and polished rice. In 2021, we also introduced the agriculture value chain financing product based on the outgrower model to support smallholder farmers in Nigeria. The bank also partners with business development service providers to provide business advisory services. For example, capacity building, mentoring, business model design, business plan creation, entrepreneurial training services, etc. to MSMEs. And since 2014, the bank has partnered with over 30 BDSPs to support MSMEs across the country. In closing, I want you all to recognize the massive work we have ahead of us. Nigeria is projected to be the largest or the world's third most populous country by 2050, with 67% of the population expected to be dwelling in cities and a middle class of 120 million people. With such recognition, it is therefore critical that we attain self-sufficiency in food production and processing. This goal, while lofty, is not impossible to achieve. Opportunities continue to exist for young and vibrant entrepreneurs to establish and expand their business activities to produce food that will help meet the increasing demand. To that end, I urge everyone here to consider the Bank of Industry as a willing partner in your entrepreneurial endeavors. I am confident that if we all play our part, we'll be able to build a Nigeria that will provide decent jobs, reduce poverty, and improve the quality of living for all its citizens. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I would like to recognize the presence of the representative of the MD CEO of Fidelity Bank, Mrs. Esther Obiekwe, Group Head of the SME Bank in Fidelity Bank. We'll be going on a short tea break, after which we'll be having further presentations from the other people. So it's just going to be a short one of about 30 minutes or less. Thank you very much. I'm told we should hold on a bit. They're still putting it together out there. I'm so sorry. The Radisson staff are just bringing the things upstairs, so let's just give them about 5 minutes. So let's give them 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. me that back, sir. Give me that back.
She doesn't even be ready for somebody. She's telling me that was sewing, everything, package for bridesmaid and everything. She paid 16,000. Why would they not sell material for me 15K for delivering? She gave me delivery in her house. I don't care about it. That's too much. So you know, I try to matter is that I'm not giving this to like a second thought. Because like I told you, I was just going through God, so my mind was but now that things now coming extremely clearer to me, I will call her attention to it. This doesn't make any sense. You take for just one material. Something like this. No. She said, how much for me? You guys are paying for 5,000. Doesn't make sense. Just because me first. Maybe I don't know, they are not going to do your wedding for you and I'll come and I say, this is December. People are very, very careful about spending too much money. All that one of things, black people like paying somebody that has paid doesn't make any sense. I think we have to collect physically here. If we have to look from one side, it might look like there's only one person that is affected and the other people are cooked. So let's talk about you have the option of making this or this thing. How will you told you gather all that money to pay for what for the wedding and you won't get it? Maybe you get it, I only jot that or play them or won't give you or what? Doesn't make any sense to me. And it's silk. Because silk always, no matter how you go to even the most expensive market, you cannot, the most you buy silk is like 2K, which you said like 6K. How will you sell silk material for every month? Without not getting any extra pay?
Move it down.
Leave it like this. Take like this.
This is different.
Don't need to be there. Don't need to be there. I don't need to be there.
Why?
It's not of equality like that. That this was there. Then this round stuff that used to carry that the rights used to that is flower is there. It was stuff carry slippers, even the ground I walk, there's soup inside the ground. Only material. The girl is paying me plus my makeup is 20,000. Can you even imagine? She said the material is 15,000.
We are starting with stream. People will steal picture, not somebody's face. That's why everybody might go. We all see the steal picture.
Start with the flyer. Start with the flyer.
And the reason now is that this one I can't change it. It's when they end it, I'll be able to change the. I try to check. I'll say please not allowed to change. If it wasn't because of like we want to change it, like it's still watching. Okay,
masking.
maybe you use your own supply. So my phone I was going to use straight to change it. Because even me I saw it that once I click it was showing
I don't know.
It wants to make money for people. I'm not making 50 million to like just for which station of it would she just went to buy. I just came out of that social. People are fleeing to the store. You know, if it's too much, I'm having to just
In between our
what am I doing with? You know, I feel good to wait people.
follow me. Where's your Vanguard?
She called me.
She called me. Well, I should be asked me and I found the show saying I'm saying give her my number.
That Vanguard basically. The Vanguard basically come out that time. If I don't come out time. If it's possible, call Vanguard civilian. No, that's not even what I tell you to do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, there's no Vanguard down. So that one should have been there. Okay, right? So yeah, you're ready.
Okay. Please, we can now go in, but we have to go in batches so that the place, the corridor won't be crowded. The tea break or the tea break is ready. So maybe we should start from there. The ladies. The rest of us can join them.
Good morning. Can I leave my bag here? On the table.
Please, can you join them for the team? If someone tell me you are here, I will say no. That is it. I'll put on the face. Camera